ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਵਿਊਅਰਸ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਡਾਇਸਪੋਰਾ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਲਾਮਬੰਦ ਹੋਇਆ। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ 1984 ਦੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਤਲੇਆਮ ਨੂੰ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਿਵਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੁਹਿੰਮ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਫਲਤਾਵਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਡਾਇਸਪੋਰਾ ਨੇ ਹਾਸਲ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇਹ ਮਤਾ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਫ੍ਰੈਜ਼ਨੋ ਸਮੇਤ ਕਈ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰੀਬ ਦਰਜਨ ਦੇ ਕਰੀਬ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਐਸੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸੇ ਲੜੀ ਦੇ ਤਹਿਤ ਅੱਜ ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ 1984 ਦੇ ਕਤਲੇਆਮ ਨੂੰ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਯਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਵਜੋਂ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਤਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੱਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਅਰਾ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਇਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਦੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਸਟੇਟ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ 1984 ਦੇ ਕਤਲੇਆਮ ਨੂੰ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। 1984 ਨੂੰ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਿਵਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਮੁਹਿੰਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡੀ ਸਫਲਤਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਅੱਜ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਇਕੱਠੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਸਿਟੀ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਦੇ ਮੈਂਬਰ, ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਅਤੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਸੈਨੇਟਰ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਆਓ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਆਗੂਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਇਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਜਾਣੀਏ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੀਆਂ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਾਂਝ ਪਾਈਏ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡਾ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਕਨੈਕਟੀਕਟ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੇਟ ਆ, ਕਨੈਕਟੀਕਟ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪੁਰਾਣਾ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਆ ਇਸ ਸਟੇਟ ਦਾ, ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਭਾਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਇਆ 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਸ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਵਿਖੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਰੈਕੋਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ 1984 ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਆ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਉਹ ਲੈਟਰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਸਵਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਗੁਰਨਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਧਾਲੀਵਾਲ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਵੱਡਾ ਐਫਰਟ ਆ ਜੋ ਇਸ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਅੱਜ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਈ ਆ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਣਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸਹੀ ਆ ਕਿ 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਲਕਿ ਪੂਰੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿੱਥੇ 30 ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਢਾਹ ਢੇਰੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਨਾਲ ਪੂਰੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਭੈਣਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਦਸਲੂਕੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ, ਮਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਦਸਲੂਕੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ। ਈਵਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਤਖਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਅਟੈਕ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਇਨਸਾਫ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਭਾਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਿਆ, ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਉਹ 13-14 ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਣਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਸੀਗਾ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਕਨੈਕਟੀਕਟ ਦੀ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਣਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਹੋਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਏ ਸਨ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵਧਾਈ ਵੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਭਾਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ ਇਨਸਾਫ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਿਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਇਹ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਣਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਇਹ ਛੋਟੇ-ਛੋਟੇ ਬੇਬੀ ਸਟੈਪ ਹੈਗੇ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਮੰਜ਼ਿਲ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਪ੍ਰਮਾਣਿਤ ਹੋਇਆ, ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਸੀਗਾ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਵਧਾਈ ਵੀ ਆ। ਸਰਦਾਰ ਸਵਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੋਣੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਐਫਰਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਗੁਰਨਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਧਾਲੀਵਾਲ ਹੋਣੀ ਜੋ ਕਨੈਕਟੀਕਟ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਾਗਰੂਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਆ। ਸੋ ਦੂਜੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਸਿੱਖ ਵਸਦੇ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਐਫਰਟ ਕਰਨ। ਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੀ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕਰਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, ਕੀ ਪੇਪਰ ਵਰਕ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ TV84 ਚੈਨਲ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੋ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਕੌਮ ਦੀ ਆਵਾਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਬੁਲੰਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਜੀ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
We're trying to condemn the things that Indian government has done to the Sikh community in 1984, and they're still going on. Even our 25-year-old young boy who was born in Scotland, he went to India and he was arrested. On what charges? There's no charges. And he was tortured to death, and he's still in the police custody. And what he did wrong, just to create an education at the higher level about 1984, he just made one website called Never Forget 1984. So the world should know what happened to the Sikh community and why Sikh community is leaving their homeland and coming to the different countries. So just because of that, he has been tortured to death, and he's still in police custody, even after a lot of member parliaments from UK have written the letters to the Indian High Commission and the Consulate General. Still, there's no response. So today, our goal is to collectively say something as a society that we denounce any kind of violence done in any part of the world. And this is our duty, civic duty, and I think I am very honored that our Connecticut leadership is here. Kathy Austin, Jonathan Harris, our Reverend Perry, who helped me organize all this program, Bonnie Hong, all the community leaders are here, Sikh community leaders are here from various parts, from Norwich, from Hamden, from Norwich, even from New York, because they were glad to be here because they wanted to be here. So thank you very much. We will start our program with the opening prayer, and I would like to invite Veer Singh from Norwich Gurdwara Sahib, Gurdwara Guru Tegh Bahadur Foundation. So let's have a small Sikh prayer, and you lead us and we will join you. And after that we have a speaker list. Kathy Austin will be the first speaker, and then we have Jonathan Harris. So in Sikh Ardas or Sikh prayer, it's pretty simple. We remember our 10 gurus, our holy scripture, and people who fight for justice. And at the end of the day, end of the prayer, we say that, "Oh Almighty God, please shower your blessing on the whole mankind." So it's not just for the community. We ask for the well-being of whole mankind, and we call Nanak Naam Chardhi Kala. Nanak is the founder of religion. Chardhi Kala means everlasting optimism. Tere Pane Sarbat Da Pala. And Tere Pane Sarbat Da Pala, we will have it on our peace pole in Norwich. That means please shower your blessing on the whole mankind. So thank you. So I would like to invite our first speaker, Kathy Austin, and thank you very much for accommodating our request.
Thank you for allowing me to come here and speak in front of you all today, because I think this is exactly what we should be doing, and that is recognizing and honoring the differences of people. That shows that we can become a community that is integrated and understanding where we all come from. Under my perspective, I think that that's something that's lacking at the upper levels in the United States. I think that we have allowed a certain amount of, really not not a certain amount, but way too much discrimination to happen at the top level of our government, and we need to guard against that. I've said the entire time that I've been a state senator that Norwich should always recognize its 33% minority-based people and invite them to be a part of the government in Norwich and be a part of the community. I've actually encouraged my friend here to run for political office because I think he'd be great at it. He not only... I'm glad to hear that. Because we need people that bring parts of life that other people don't know about. And without having that, we lose a part of humanity. The peace polls were an excellent way to sort of recognize who is here in the Norwich region. But it is not the only way. We need to have policies that recognize social justice. We need to have policies that remember that it is the differences that make this country what it is, as great as it is. It is not when we act the same as each other. We need to look forward and understand that those differences are what have bound us together to provide the democracy that will be the saving grace of the world. That understands that understanding the differences is the best piece of where we are going. I got to speak first only because I have to end up in Hebron a little bit later on tonight. I represent 10 towns, and I can't think of a group of people, as long as I have known my friend here, that recognizes the value of getting people to understand the history of where people come from, to forgive but not forget. Because you can't forgive until someone has stood up and said what they have done. You can't do that. That's a big part of this. And if we just allow people to not understand what happened in 1984, the true genocide of a people, then we are not going to be able to move that forward. So I think that it's wonderful what all of you do, that you bring that out, that you tell people that you are Sikhs, just as much as I tell people where I come from. An Irish Catholic girl, and I was raised that way and understood where my family came from. You have to tell people so that when you're driving down the road, people know that you are Sikhs. They understand what your religion is. They understand what you have done for this country, and they recognize the fact that you have had someone in every war that has happened in this great country to forward democracy and social justice. So I do have a presentation, and so some of the questions I got to ask a little bit earlier, and I don't know who you want to receive this, and this is for the Sikh community, and so who would you like me to...
I would just like to have a few community people just come forward and we collectively accept this proclamation.
Come on up.
So please.
Gentlemen.
Yes, please. If anybody wants to join us, that'll be great. Because these things are for community, so they should be accepted collectively.
So this is State of Connecticut General Assembly official citation. It was introduced by myself, Senator Catherine A. Austin from the 19th District, Representative Kevin Ryan from the 139th District, and Representative Emmett Riley from the 46th District. Be it hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly offers its sincerest sympathy to the Sikh community of Connecticut in recognition of the 33rd anniversary of the horrific anti-Sikh programs which claimed the lives of thousands of Sikhs throughout India in November of 1984. Individuals and organizations throughout the world, recognizing the need for justice, continue to demand prosecution of those responsible. We join together to remember those who lost their lives and recognize the Sikh Genocide of 1984. And the entire membership extends our condolences on this solemn occasion and expresses our hope for justice for these crimes. It's given this 30th day of November in 2017 at the state capitol in Hartford, Connecticut. It's signed by the President of the Senate, Martin Looney. It's signed by the Speaker of the House, Joe Aris-Imowitz. It's also signed by the Secretary of the State, Denise Merrill, and it's truly a recognition of what you have been pushing for, where we all are, and it is finally recognizing the genocide in 1984 by the state of Connecticut, and that is for you. And if your community would like other copies of this, I can get other copies. Let me know, and you could put them in your different, and that way you can have them. So just let me know.
Sure, I will.
But it's truly something that I think that will start bringing this forward. I've done a lot of social justice issues in Hartford, and I would be happy to put forth a proclamation. It takes time to do that, but a proclamation that would be read into the record on the floor of the Senate and the floor of the House. And I think that that's a start to getting people to recognize that. So I would be happy to do so for you. I think the work that you do is allowing people to understand what happened, and it allows people to understand that that you are a part of this community and a part of a community that binds the fabric of the future. And I am very pleased to be able to give this to you, and I have sympathy.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਨੈਕਟੀਕਟ ਦੇ ਨੌਰਵਿਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਜੋ 1984 ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦਾ ਕਤਲੇਆਮ ਜੂਨ 84 ਤੋਂ ਨਵੰਬਰ 84 ਤੱਕ ਅਤੇ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਤੱਕ ਵੀ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊਜ਼ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅਤੇ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਰਾਈਟਸ ਦੇ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ UNO ਆਫਿਸ ਬਣਿਆ ਅਤੇ ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਂ ਵਰਲਡ ਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਲੋਕ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਹਿਊਮਨ ਰਾਈਟਸ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਪਰ ਹਿੰਦੁਸਤਾਨ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਮੰਨਣ ਲਈ ਰਾਜੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੁਛ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ। ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ 100% ਕਨਫਰਮ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦੀ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ। ਬਾਹਰਲੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਨੈਕਟੀਕਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਇਸ ਯੂਨਾਈਟਿਡ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਾਕੀ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਕੌਂਸਲਮੈਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨਗੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਇਹੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਇਸ ਸਿਟੀ ਹਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ 1984 ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨਗੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ। ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਬੇਬੀ ਸਟੈਪ ਆ ਕੌਮੀ ਕਰ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਲਈ। ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਰਸਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਉਸ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੰਘਰਸ਼ ਲੜਦੇ ਰਹਾਂਗੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Thank you for having me and having my son Spencer here tonight. And I want to thank you for spending the time over the last several months helping me understand, teaching me the perspective, the principles of Sikhism. Being able to not just understand what you think are precepts, right? But I think I've learned, I've felt from you the emotion within it too, which is something that runs through all of us. And thank you for everybody for standing up, right? We all, everywhere, in this state, in this country, in India, in our world, deserve to have the right to be able to worship in freedom, to be able to associate in freedom, to be able to speak in freedom without fear of our property, our lives, our families. And this is so important, standing up. And the wonderful thing about this, as someone of the Jewish religion, of course, who has had genocide in our past, is when you learn about differences, you actually start learning about how much we're the same, right? We get to learn about things and see how the differences make our world much more colorful, much more textured, a great fabric. But we also see the commonality, not just the fact that all of our cell phones go off at some time. Doesn't matter where you come from for that, right? And so this is just critical that when we see a community that has suffered an injustice, that we stand up for that other community. Because when we stand up for that other community, we stand up for our community. We stand up for every single community. And that is the only way that we can, especially with all that is going on, and the racism and the hate and the speech and the throwing of rocks and the lack of people wanting to get together, listen to one another, and create practical solutions. So the challenges that we all face in our personal, our family, our business, in our political, and just our lives. So I just want to thank you. I wanted to be here. I'm speaking second, and I apologize cutting because I have to go and represent a client in a zoning hearing in East Hartford at 7 and do that. But so I will be back, and again, what you've taught me so far, the little bit, I look at this as the beginning, not as the end.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. We would just like to honor you with the Sikh plaque. We have created one Sikh memorial plaque, and right now that plaque is sitting in Otis Library because month of November is treated as a Sikh Awareness Month in Norwich. But we would like to find a home for that plaque. So while our Norwich leadership is here, but this is a replica of that plaque, what it says.
Very much.
Thank you. We would like to honor you with that. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Dale Plummer. I'm the city historian of Norwich, Connecticut, and I was the head of the committee that created the David Ruggles Freedom Courtyard, where we're standing now. This was created as part of the commemoration of the 150th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation by President Abraham Lincoln, which freed slaves during the Civil War, the U.S. Civil War in 1863. So, and one of the central concepts here that in fact is written on a paver at my feet is that the moral arc of the universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And I think that justice is a part of what this courtyard is about, and that, having you folks here from the Sikh community talking about the genocide of Sikhs in 1984 is actually a very appropriate thing to be doing here at our Freedom Courtyard. And I'm pleased that it's being used for this kind of event. So, and I'm also pleased that the city has seen fit to create a proclamation regarding the events of 1984, the genocide of Sikhs in November of that year. It is a situation which has never really been brought to justice, has never been resolved. And as is the case with many similar events, unfortunately, in the world. And as we become closer, as different people, people's move to the United States and we become a more diverse community, I think it's important for us to recognize their need and thirst for justice and to, incorporate that into our own lives.
So now next on my list is city historian Dale Plummer. It is a historical event, and without getting a history lesson, we cannot get our food. Thank you. So Dale, just to let you know, Dale has been my first friend when I came to city of Norwich, and we have set up a little table outside our gas station. Sikh Awareness Day, and we were distributing free water bottle with the brochure to teach people who Sikhs are. Because when I got that gas station, I used to notice people will come, they will look at me, and they'll go next door. So I was like, let me just come up front and tell them, I'm not that different from them. So Dale came with his whole crew, 50 people, and he was giving a tour for Bean Hill area. And then that was the first day I met him, and now is one of my good friends here.
Yeah,
thank you for coming.
Okay. I think actually kind of appropriate that you're on Bean Hill, because Bean Hill was a place in Norwich, a neighborhood that was very much involved in questions of justice. It was a center for opposing slavery, actually temperance, the abstinence from alcohol and so forth. But in thinking about this, I'm sort of reminded of what one of my history professors said just about 50 years ago when I was in college, that the great lesson of history is tolerance. That is the one great lesson that we should learn from history, and that's always stuck with me. And I think that is one of the thing behind genocide, behind ethnic cleansing, whatever name you want to disguise it as, and something which people have, suffered as a result of the lack of tolerance. And of course, it is not just tolerance, but I think also we have here a question of justice. And justice is a concept, I think, that almost all religions have. It's an attribute of the divine. without justice, what do we have? And we're seeing it right now with the Rohingya in Myanmar, in places like Syria. Really, this is a problem all over the world. Right here in our country, with the shooting deaths of young African American men. I think that is something we should all be concerned about, which is really, a problem. So, justice is something I think we can all understand and sympathize with the Sikh community in their desire for justice vis-a-vis the events of 1984. And I just say, and also thinking about it, I'm reminded of back in 1637, we had a war here, the Pequot War, in which the Pequot tribe of Native Americans was virtually exterminated. Not only killed, but also the survivors were sold into slavery. The name Pequot was forbidden to be used. Essentially, they tried to not just exterminate the Pequots, but remove all memory of them. So our memories our remembrance of things is really essential. And what the Pequots have done, is to really bring that back with their museum. They've done a splendid job of reminding us of what happened and sort of restoring their own identity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dale, for coming. Thank you. Next on my list is Mr. Manmohan Singh from Gurdwara Sachkhand Darbar in Hamden, and one of the I don't want to say oldest, one of the experienced person in community, and he moved almost more than 35 years ago in Connecticut, and they have done a great job, and he has been founder member for pretty much all the Gurdwara Sahib in Connecticut. They have used his expertise in getting Gurdwaras established, and maybe in future in Eastern Connecticut there's a very big vacuum, and we would love to have his expertise and time he can devote. Maybe we can establish something in Eastern Connecticut as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. We all belong to one God, and all our achievements are the blessing of the God. Hence we must recognize that God is supreme. Kathy brought up a lot of good points. She's gone. She said humanity is mankind as a whole. No doubt about that. That means irrespective of caste, color, creed, faith, gender. That's mankind, is that right? And Mother Nature is our best teacher. When God created Mother Nature around us, God could have created only one rose red color, but created a lot of different type of roses, flowers to decorate His own creation. Because the world can only be decorated with a variety. Hence we all Jewish, Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs are a creation of God, blessed God on the face of this earth. But the question is, and Christianity of course, and the question is, did we learn to coexist? Did we learn to coexist? That's where the interfaith organization came into existence after 9/11. That there's a need and void in this country that we got to learn and understand each other and take their salient features and learn from them and still maintain our own identity and learn to coexist. That is the fundamental need of the time, is that right? We all agree with that. Now let me go back to this point now, 1984. That's my main topic here.
Every government has a strength. They got arsenal, they got military, they got a lot of power. But if a certain government thinks that if they can use that arsenal on their own people and destroy holiest shrines and kill children and kill people, then they can kill thoughts and righteousness. Is that a right way of thinking? Absolutely not. That's what Indira Gandhi thought she can do that. She thought, if I can destroy Harmandir Sahib Golden Temple, if I can dismantle Sri Akal Takht Sahib, if I can kill handful of people, I can eliminate the good ideas of Sikhism from the face of this earth. That's a climax of, pardon me, stupidity. That's where the whole thing originated from. And it ended up as a genocide. One little mistake became a blunder. And a lot of people had to pay the price for this. And that's the reason we are here even after more than 30 years, sitting here talking about the same thing. That's totally wrong. Now the arsenal government has, the military power government has, that is to protect the borders, the aggression from the other country. There's no norm, no doctrine, no matter which country you go to, or international whatever treaty, that you use your own military, your own arsenal, on your own people at their holy shrine while they are sitting there and celebrating their sacrifice of the fifth Guru, who was put on the hot plate alive because he compiled Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Glory of God. That was his fault. That he compiled the Gurbani, the hymns, put them together in the form of a holy scripture which is now called as Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And fifth Guru, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, was put on a hot plate in a hot weather, and hot sand was poured upon him, and the fire was burnt on the hot plate. And that is the day, the martyrdom day, Sikhs were celebrating that particular day in that complex, when Indira Gandhi ordered and attacked with tanks and military, and people who were worshipping and attending the services, and children were killed, and everywhere was blood. People and female were raped in a holy shrine. And that's how this started, because she thought she can eliminate Sikhism. Because the whole thing started for rights for the Sikhs in Punjab. Punjab means a state of 5 rivers, which is not even 5 rivers now, it's 3 rivers. And the water resources of that own state is given to other states, and Punjab is being deprived of. Every step of the way, they did in such a way, the Indian government, so that the flourishing state of Punjab becomes a backward state, because this Punjab was the bread and basket of India. And they could not tolerate Sikhs flourishing, engineers, doctors, agriculturists. They are all over the world. You will never see a beggar, a Sikh beggar in the whole world. Go in India right now, there are the beggars on the street. But you will not find a Sikh beggar on the streets. Because we believe in self-dignity. Earning with your own 10 fingers and helping the people. So that day, children were murdered, killed, burnt alive. And that's happened, that's where this whole thing started, which ended up as genocide in November 1984. Because, of course, action and reactions are equal and opposite. people who were very near and dear to their place of worship, the Holy Shrine Golden Temple, they went there, they saw the damages. Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, our literature, for many, many years, hundreds of years, were burnt, was stolen from there so that they can eliminate our past history from the face of this earth. So what they did is that resulted in the assassination of Indira Gandhi in November. And that's where this whole thing started. Now, I was talking to somebody who's our priest, our place of worship in Hampton, and I told him I'm going to a place where there's a gathering and we have to talk about genocide. He said, you can only talk about it. We were in it. He says, I was in Delhi. He was telling me, I had 4 daughters, and people came to attack him, and multiply with thousands with what story I'm going to tell you. My priest is telling me today on the phone while I was driving here. He says 3 of her daughters, we had to put them in the attic under something like you keep like a cat or dog for 8 hours. And downstairs, they put our building on fire. And his turban was burnt, his beard was burnt. And they were fighting with the people who were attacking, the mob. And then he had to put a iron bucket on his head and then keep fighting with them. And for 8 hours. And all of a sudden, a man from the military came. He dispersed the mob, and then we could hide somewhere else. He says, we went through this. My youngest daughter was crying, and she died in front of us. We could not even do her funeral. Multiply this story with thousands. Over 8,000 people were burnt alive, killed on that day when Indira Gandhi was assassinated. And it happened in more than 40 cities. And isolated, they looked at Sikh homes and went in there, raped their mothers, daughters, and killed their children, no matter what age they are. And they were burned alive. They were running in the street with their tires hung around their neck. So now they want to label this as a riot. How could label it a riot where organized crime happened by the government on the people? That is a genocide. Because they're just confusing the dictionary, and that's why now the world has recognized, a lot of cities in America have recognized, and they have already recognized this as a genocide. In Canada it has happened, and USA it is happening, and Kathy also brought up a very good point that we're going to have a proclamation in the Senate and in our assembly that we will declare this as a genocide, because it is a genocide. 2 plus 2 is 4. It's not 4.5. It's not a 3.5. 2 plus 2 is 4. It's a genocide. There's no other term for this thing. And I end here. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening, and God bless. And we're really thankful on behalf of our whole community that you are here and sympathizing with this and sparing your time this evening, your precious time. Thank you very much. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa. Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you. Thank you, Manmohan Singh Ji. I think you have enlightened us, all of us, what really happened in a very fine way. So thank you for that. Senator Blumenthal couldn't make it today for some reason, but we have some more important guests today that I would like them to speak, and they came to show their sympathy, and they just wanted to be with the Sikh community. And I would like to invite Chris Matty. Thank you for coming at such a short notice, and please be part of our community, and we are glad that you are here. And Chris has been a prosecutor for so many years, and Sikh community has good relationship with the U.S. Attorney Office. Myself, I'm from Department of Justice, doing presentations for U.S. Attorney Office. We have trained more than 1,500 officers. It's a program that was started by Obama administration just to educate first responders who Sikhs are, if any situation happen in their Gurdwara, how we can tackle that. And we are glad that you are here. Thank you very much.
My name is Chris Maddy, and it's an honor for me to be among you tonight. As Singh mentioned, I worked at the United States Department of Justice up until a couple years ago. I was the chief of the Financial Fraud and Public Corruption Unit there. And in that capacity, I supervised civil rights investigations. Investigations into whether government officials had violated the civil rights of American citizens. And one of the reasons that commemorations like this are so important, to recognize genocide for what it was, is because when the government becomes involved in violence against its own people, and nobody is held accountable for that, you can never get closure or a sense of justice or a sense of that right has been done without coming together like this to recognize what happened for the reality that it was. And I know a little bit about the events of 1984. I first learned about Sikhism and the genocide in 1984 in college when I walked into my freshman year dorm room and my roommate was standing there with a long beard and a dastar from California. And I had never seen, or at least I never recalled seeing a Sikh before. And we became very good friends. And he educated me about Sikh culture, about the tremendous pride of the Sikh people in their history in Punjab and throughout India, and also about the genocide, where, as was mentioned, up to 8,000 innocent Sikhs were murdered with the involvement of the Indian government. And for many years, some governments were reluctant to acknowledge that elements of the Indian government were involved in that. And some of you may know that in 2011, documents from within the American government showed that the American government itself believes that elements of the Indian government were involved in that genocide. And so part of the religious and cultural strife that existed then is in part what has brought many Sikhs to the United States. And what I hope we can live out here is that basic American creed that the Constitution and the protections it affords to every citizen, no matter their religion, no matter their race, no matter their background, are rights that the government protects and does not violate. So part of what is important in the work that I did and the work that so many others have done at the United States Department of Justice is in ensuring that whether it be a religious minority or a cultural minority or a racial minority, that the government is capable of policing abuses of civil rights. And one of the concerns many of us have now is whether our government continues to act in that way. And will continue to live up to the ideals that the Constitution requires. And if all of us come together in a room like this and go out into our communities and spread understanding about one another and respect for one another and respect for the legal rights that each one of us as American citizens carries around with us that cannot be taken away from us, then we will be doing our part to prevent not just the violence that even in the United States we see, but also the daily offenses, the daily disrespect, the daily feeling of being other in one's own country. And that's what we need to work against, and we do that by promoting peace and love and understanding the way all of you are here tonight, and I'm honored to be part of it, and thank you very much for having me.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਦਾਸ ਗੁਰਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਢਾਲੀਵਾਲ ਮੈਸੇਚਿਊਸੇਟਸ। ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਹਾਂ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਵਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਦੀ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਤਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੀ 1984 ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਦਾ, ਉਹ ਅੱਜ ਸਿਟੀ ਨੇ ਪਾਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ। ਉਹਦੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਤੋਂ ਆਏ ਆ, ਹੋਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਏ ਆ, ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ 'ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿਹਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਟੀਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਪਾਈ ਸੀਗੀ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਬਸ 1 ਲੱਖ ਸਾਈਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤ ਸੀਗੀ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ 1,24,000 ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਸਾਈਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ। ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਟੀ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਵੀ ਵਾਂਟ ਟੂ ਥੈਂਕਸ ਟੂ ਦਿਸ ਸਿਟੀ ਕਿ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆਪਣੀ 1984 ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਕਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਕੰਮ ਨੂੰ, ਇਸ ਮੁਹਿੰਮ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਾਉਂਦੇ ਰਹਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਾਂਗੇ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾਰਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਆ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ। ਅੱਜ ਨਾਰਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ 1984 ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਹਿੰਦੁਸਤਾਨ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੰਗੇ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ 'ਚ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਅੱਜ ਨਾਰਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੰਗੇ ਦੀ ਬਜਾਏ ਸਿੱਖ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਆ। ਨਾਰਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ 14 ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਤੇ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਸੂਬੇ ਦੀ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਵੱਲੋਂ 1984 ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਇਹ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਆ। ਸੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਭ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਖੁੰਝੇ, ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਕੋਨੇ 'ਚ ਵੱਸਦਾ ਆ, ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ, ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੇਟ, ਆਪਣੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੇ ਸਰਕਾਰੀ ਦਰਬਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਜੱਦੋ-ਜਹਿਦ ਜਾਰੀ ਰੱਖੇ ਕਿ 1984 ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖ ਨਸਲਕੁਸ਼ੀ ਵਜੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਵਾਈ ਜਾਵੇ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Abby, would you like to say a few words? Abby's our Norwich School Superintendent, and I'm working very closely with her to introduce Sikhism in our school system. And I went to their office, and that was my first time, and they showed me that we have students speaking Punjabi language.
Yes, we do.
So, plus, thank you for attending that big meeting and attending my presentation.
That's good.
And we hope we can do something. We can start with Norwich, get our neighboring towns together, and do something at the state level. Thank you.
Thank you
for coming.
And thank you for having us. Sheila Osko is our Director of Language and Translation Services. So the large part of her job is to keep track of who we have in our district and in our city and make sure that we provide the appropriate educational programs for them. So that's one piece of it. And for me, Sheila's always a sounding board about how do we make and help people to feel accepted. We have over 30 languages spoken in our district, so we have a lot of work to do in our community, but this is a start. One of our big pushes this year, one of our big initiatives for our staff and our students is focusing on respect, caring about each other. It's so lacking in the world. I'm not going to go into all that. I'll start to get too far into it. That we felt that our staff needs to model, not that they weren't, but to really focus on what does it mean to respect others, to look at history, to know who people are in our community and be accepting, because that's who we are now in Norwich. And I was born here. I've been here my whole life, so I've seen a change which I celebrate, that we can be together and to move forward to educate our kids on we're all one community. So that's what we're focused on. It's a lot of work, but it's the right work. So it's similar message, which I think is so important. And with Sheila's help, so that we can communicate with everybody we need to. That's what we're doing. So we look forward to our continued partnership, and I've already learned so much from you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that.
My pleasure. And we will. Yes.
And we do have a magnet that is a global studies magnet. So we are really not just learning about culture, but we're actually going to be bringing culture into the school for the middle school level. So instead of it starting at college, we're going to start it earlier so that children are aware and that respect is out there.
So as we develop our curriculums for the global universe, a lot about civic giving, a lot about sharing who we are with each other. We need you. We need everybody.
So it's just sorry to ask you a question. It's just for the Norwich, or are you trying to do for the whole state of Connecticut?
We don't have the capacity to allow students from outside of Norwich into our schools because we don't have enough space. So we have funding to do one of our middle schools, and hopefully the message will spread. But it's only for our middle school.
Hope for the best.
Yes. Yes.
And we would like to recognize you guys with the Sikh Memorial plaque. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Our Congressman Joe Courtney is in session in Washington, D.C., but in order to recognize today's event, they provided this certificate and in the commemoration of the lives people have lost during this tragic event of October 31st to November 4th, 1984. And I think it's really nice of our congressmen. I just went to their office yesterday, and they feel bad that nobody from our office could come, so they especially called me today. Please pick this up and please announce that congressman couldn't come and do that on our behalf. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Bhai Mahinder Singh Ji from Gurdwara Guru Ramdas Darbar in Windsor, and he will lead us in the Sikh national anthem. And if anybody wants to stand, they can stand, or we can sit, so there's no compulsion. But they will sing a national anthem, and they also came when we commemorated 30th anniversary outside the city hall as well. So and Sikh national anthem is right on the last page. So we have the English translation if somebody wants to join. First of all, I would like to invite Bonnie Hong, who is a community activist, I will say, and member of Rotary Club. It is important for us to recognize Rotary. They are doing a great job for Norwich itself. So this is a historical picture of Golden Temple, Darbar Sahib.
Oh, that's beautiful.
From 1833.
That's beautiful.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you for coming, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Then Reverend Perry. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for helping organizing this event. Thank you. Deanna Rhodes, our Norwich City planner. Thank you very much for coming. My pleasure. Then we have our new upcoming City Council member, DeLucas. He'll be joining our city on December 5th. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Trucker, he is still our City Council member till December 5th. And we thank you for being such a good friend of the community. I think half of the guys already know Mr. Trucker. We have met him at so many different events. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the invitation.
My pleasure.
Very
Thank
proud
you.
to be here.
Thank you. And I would also like to invite Chris Mackey and recognize him with the Sikh Memorial plaque.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Then we have Manmohan Singh Ji Barara from Hamden Gurdwara Sahib.
I consider myself the host.
Thank you very much.
God bless. Thank you.
Now I would like to invite our last speaker, Reverend Hughes, and we will love you to speak a few words. So Reverend Hughes has been a good friend of Sikh community, even spreading the word, because they have a very nice LED sign outside the church, and they always put in the month of June that we recognize people who were killed in June 1984. Thank you for doing that, and we would love that you are here. You change your schedule and to be here. Thank you very much, and I would like to recognize you as well, and please say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's a great honor to be invited to be with you this evening. And a recognition that I feel kind of humbled by, because I don't feel I have done a huge amount in order to be given the credit that I'm being given. But one of the simple things that I was able to do, as our host has said, is to take the large LED sign, which is outside our church, which is Christ Episcopal Church, for those of you who don't know, on Washington Street, and to simply put a commemorative message during June. And a very simple thing, but one which perhaps attracts a lot of attention from traffic that passes to the genocide of 1984, and it's a small thing, and it's an honour to be able to do it. But what has struck me is that I did that, and I sent a message to say that I had done it, and the next thing I knew was that there was a picture of our sign on Facebook. And clearly a simple act like this meant a great deal, because people like, your posts on Facebook, and you do something and you get 30 likes and you think, oh, a lot of people have noticed this. And I think when we first did this, which was 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
3 years ago.
I forget exactly which year. I had 565 likes. When we did it last year, it was 800 and something. And I have Sikh Facebook friends all over the world. And the number of friend requests that arrived wasn't. And, it is such an important thing to keep alive the knowledge that we are all human beings. And, I stand here as a Christian minister, and one of the things that is fundamental to our faith as Christians is that we are all created in the image of God. whoever we are, whatever colour, whatever race, whatever language we speak, whatever gender, whatever sexuality, whatever, we are all equally valued by God, however we understand God to be. And all our understandings are inadequate, but we all know that whoever a human being is, they are of infinite value. And that is, it is such a tragedy when people are not valued. So it's an honour to be here, and thank you for the invitation.
Now I would like to invite our City of Norwich Mayor, Deb Hinchy, and this program, I think she was the force behind it. I just met her and I said, do you think it's possible? Do you have enough time? And she didn't say no. She said, let's go for it. And I said, oh, now I have to do it. So that's what I was thinking. But I was happy inside, and I didn't know how I'm going to do it because I'm in the middle of moving. And
I went to the wrong place.
You went to my old house, yeah. So, but thank you for accommodating our request. And Deb Hinchy has been a great friend of Sikh community. We have commemorated 30th anniversary of Sikh Genocide outside the City Hall, and City of Norwich has declared month of November as a Sikh Awareness Month. Then recently in April, we declared 14th April, which is a Vaisakhi Day, a big holiday for Sikh, and they have declared it as a National Sikh Day. And that was the first National Sikh Day that was declared in the whole US. It started from City of Norwich, and now we have 6-7 different other cities, and different states are doing the same thing. Then we had a big thing in the congressional record recognizing that event, but started from City of Norwich. I think we are making a history. So thank you very much.
Very welcome. Well, I thank you all for, sorry I'm late. I went to the wrong place. I figured you guys all stood me up. But I have to tell you, I am nearing the end of my term. And so about 4 years ago now, when I first got elected, Sanjay came to visit me. He was one of the first people that came to visit me with his parents. And your wife, I think, came. No children.
Yes.
That was pre-children.
Yes.
And... I was totally touched by this family wanting to meet me and wanting to explain what their belief system was, and more importantly, wanting to explain how they felt they could contribute to the city. And so it was, over the last 4 years, it has been such an honor to hear from you, to be able to participate in things that I think make the city great. I had the ability to live in all parts of the country and then in Europe. My father was in the Navy. And so I experienced multiple cultures, multiple ways of doing things. And when I became mayor and was able to go into the schools and see all of the different children, they're all different sizes, different colors, different languages, different belief systems. I realized that in Norwich we have the luxury of not having to travel to see and experience the different cultures. And I truly believe that all of us are better because we sit next to someone who eats different foods than us, who looks different than us, who has different customs than us. It makes us better. And in this world today, when you have to turn off your cell phone for the alerts because they're coming every 15 minutes about negative things and name calling and not wanting immigrants in our country, it is refreshing to look around our community, to look around this house, now that I found it, and see how different we all are.
And so I thank you for putting this together and letting me be a part of it. And I leave in, 4 days, 5 days, my office, carrying with me all of these things that a woman like me, has never been able to experience. And it has made me better. It has made me stronger. I'm in the mental health field, and I believe that the experiences of all of you, the music, your customs, the knowledge, has made me better able to help the folks that I serve now. I'm the Vice President of Behavioral Health at UCFS. So, I can take what you all have taught me to make things better. So, that's my little speech. Now for the official business. And I'm so glad that Tucker is here and Joe, you are here. It's really nice.
Thank you.
And I will, but I won't be gone. I'll still be around. So you can
We
still
would like you
invite
to be
me to
around.
things.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a proclamation from the city of Norwich. Whereas November 2017 marks the 33rd year anniversary of the horrific anti-Sikh pogroms, which claimed the lives of thousands of Sikhs throughout India in the first week of November in 1984. Whereas Sikhs were beaten with iron rods, doused with kerosene, set on fire, and Sikh women, many of whom lost their husbands, their sons, their fathers during these pogroms, were gang raped and sexually assaulted by the attackers. And Sikh homes, businesses, and houses of worship
Gurdwaras
were looted, damaged, and destroyed during the pogroms, resulting in the international destruction of many Sikh families. And whereas eyewitnesses, journalists, and human rights activists have compiled evidence showing that government and law enforcement officials organized and participated in and failed to intervene to prevent these killings through direct and indirect means. And whereas the individuals and organizations throughout the world recognize the need for justice, continue to demand persecution of those responsible for the November 1984 anti-Sikh pogroms. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Deborah Hinchy, and the Norwich City Council President Pro Tem Peter Albert Nystrom, on behalf of the Norwich City Council and the citizens of Norwich, do hereby remember those who lost their lives during the November 1984 anti-Sikh pogroms and massacre, and recognize this as Sikh Genocide 1984. And this is dated the 30th day of November 2017.
Community might wanted one picture with you with the proclamation, so you can join us. Yeah.
Bole Soneha.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have one more request from my sister Bonnie Hong, and
why don't we bring the mayor back up?
Sure.
Yes. Because as hard as I think Sanjay has worked to really promote understanding, it hasn't just been with the Sikh community. He jumps right in when he sees there's an opportunity. But both Sanjay and I recognize that without the city's assistance and support and efforts to really bring the city closer and work with people like Swanjay in the community. This was supposed to have been presented to you during the Peace Poll unveiling, and you had already left to go to City Hall. And Kathy Olston, our senator, ended up giving it to our district governor.
Oh.
But our district governor also found out that in the proclamation she had also put in the wrong district date, so district numbers. So it's been changed. And this is, I just received this yesterday, so this is kind of opportune to be able to give it to you now before you do leave office.
Nice.
But it's also, I think for both of us, we recognize that the things that we're trying to do in the community, your welcome signs in Norwich, all of that is what helps make our community so wonderful.
I have created one in 21 different languages.
I know you have. I saw it. The first thing I saw when I
so
came
I'll be bothering people at state
beautiful.
level now.
Okay. I'll help you with it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You probably have listened our folks saying, Bole so nihal, sat shri akal.
Say it slower.
So, Bole so nihal, sat shri akal. So it's the popular cheers of Sikhism, and that's why we use it all the time to be in the spirit of everlasting optimism. And I have written the history behind it, so you have it. And we're gonna have 5 jakaras. It's called jakara for the different occasions. And the first one is in the memory of the thousands of innocent men, women, and children who lost their lives and loved ones on June 1984 when the Indian Army, on the orders of Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, attacked Darbar Sahib, also known as Golden Temple, situated in the holy city of Amritsar, state of Punjab, right now occupied by India. So one of the community member, I would like you to please say the Jakara, Bole So Nihal, and we will join you in Sat Shri Akal. So Himmat Singh ji, please.
Bole So Nihal,
Sat Shri Akal. Second one is in the memory of 1,000 men, women, and children who lost their lives and loved ones in the Sikh Genocide campaign run by Indian government in November 1984. So, Maninder Singh Ji Arora, please.
Bole So Nihal.
Third one is in the honor of Sant Jarnail Singh Khalsa, Pindrawale, and other Sikh defenders who gave their lives to protect basic human rights and basic rights of state of Punjab. And they were the defender of our religion, and they were the one who fight back when Indian army came to our Darbar Sahib to attack thousands of people. So I would like to have Baljinder Singh Ji please say the Jakara. Then we have one Jakara, peace, may peace prevail on the earth, which is very important. And this is our common message that I want to give to everyone. So one Jakara by Minder Singh Ji, please.
Bole So Nihal.
Then the fifth Jakara, the struggle of Sikh nation should continue to achieve a free Punjab, Khalistan land where rights of every individual is protected and everyone is treated with love and respect regardless of their religion, color, creed, caste, gender or sexual orientation. I would like to invite Manmohan Singh Ji, please lead us in the Jakara.
Bole So Nihal.
Thank you very much. And now we have a closing prayer. I would like to invite Reverend Perry to please lead us in the closing prayer. And then everybody, please don't go home. Let's join us for the dinner. We have Punjabi food cooked by all of our community, and we hope you will enjoy it. And that will give some time that we can do some networking, talk to each other, and we have Chris Maddy also here, so he will have a lot of things that you can ask about and know what he's trying to do, because it is very important for our state of Connecticut that we choose the leader who really going to make a difference. So thank you.
Prayer. And Creator, we thank you first that you have placed justice within our hearts, and it calls us to recognize that we are all one and that we deserve to give each one the recognition and respect that you give to us. And we thank you for that. And on this day, we remember those who were not given that sense of justice, who were hurt and murdered and destroyed, men, women, and children, and done by those who were their brothers and sisters, who were given that task to care for them. And we remember them and their families and all who carry that hurt within their hearts. And we pray that you would give them, and indeed all of us, that ability to find healing and health and strength from you. For that is what we need when we suffer such injustice. And we also pray that as you give us that healing, you empower us to share and show that justice with others, especially when you put us in positions of power. Help us to be able to use it rightly, so we help and not hurt. On this day, we honor you and thank you for making us one. Thank you for allowing us to have a time as this. Let your blessing continue upon us as we partake in food and fellowship. In your blessed name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਜੀ।
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅੱਜ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਹੋਇਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਸਿਟੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, ਇਹਦੀ ਸਿਟੀ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਵੱਲੋਂ 1984 ਦੇ ਕਤਲੇਆਮ ਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਰਾਰਿਆ ਗਿਆ, ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਤੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਭਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਸਥਾਵਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ, ਜਥੇਬੰਦੀਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਮੁਹਿੰਮ ਚਲਾਈ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਸੋ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਇਹ ਰੈਕੋਗਨੀਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲਣੀ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਅਹਿਮੀਅਤ ਹੈ। ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਐਕਟਿਵ ਹੋ, ਐਜ਼ ਐਨ ਸਿੱਖ ਐਕਟਿਵਿਸਟ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, ਸੋ ਕੀ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਹੋ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਰੈਕੋਗਨੀਸ਼ਨ ਸਿਟੀ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਇਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਇਹ ਰੈਕੋਗਨੀਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਸਮਾਗਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਤਵੰਤੇ ਸੱਜਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਆ, ਨਾਲ ਸਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੈਨੇਟਰ ਵੀ ਰਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਕੌਂਸਲਮੈਨ ਵੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਹਾਜ਼ਰੀ ਲਵਾਈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਸਾਂਝੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਆ। ਕੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦਿਨ ਹੈ ਬਣਿਆ ਨਾ ਜੀ, ਨਵੰਬਰ 30, ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਹਿਸਟੋਰੀਕਲ ਡੇ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦਾ ਸਮਝਦਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਪਾਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਤਸ਼ੱਦਦ ਅਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਜਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੱਗੀ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ 25 ਸਾਲ ਦਾ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਕਿ ਤਸੀਹੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ, ਉੱਥੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਡਾਇਸਪੋਰਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਕੋਈ ਛੋਟੀਆਂ ਮੋਟੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ 1984 ਦੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਵੇ। ਇਹ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਦੀ ਬਾਹਰਲੇ ਮੁਲਕਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਸਟਰੈਂਥ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਿਟੀ ਆਫ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਤਲੋਗਾਰ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੰਡੈਮਡ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਅ 1984 ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਬੜੀ ਹੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਵੀ 33ਵੀਂ ਸਾਲਗਿਰਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੇ ਓਪਰੇ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਨਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿਟੀ ਕਾਉਂਸਲ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਘਰੇ ਆਏ, ਮੇਅਰ ਵੀ ਘਰੇ ਆਈ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮੇਸ਼ਨ। ਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਬੜੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ। ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਈਵਨ ਕਿ ਸਟੇਟ ਪੱਧਰ ਤੇ ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਨਰਲ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਮਤਾ ਪਾਸ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਬਈ 1984 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਕਤਲੇਆਮ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ 'ਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਟੇਟ ਸੈਨੇਟਰ ਕੈਥੀ ਔਸਨ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਆਸ਼ਵਾਸਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੈਨੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੜਾਂਗੇ ਵੀ, ਪੂਰੀ ਇਹਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵੀ ਬਣੇਗੀ ਤੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮ ਵੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਪਰ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਡੇਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਨਰਲ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਮਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਤਾ। ਸੋ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਿਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨਾਰਵਿਚ ਵੱਲੋਂ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਘੋਸ਼ਿਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ। ਪਲੱਸ ਅੱਜ ਨਵੇਕਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਬਈ ਆਪ ਹਮਾਰੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਚੱਲ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਨੇ, ਵੱਖਰੇ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਆਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਇੱਥੇ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਵਰਨਰ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਖੜੇ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਚਾਹਵਾਨ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਮੂਲੀਅਤ ਕਰਨ ਆਏ ਨੇ।
ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਕ੍ਰਿਸ ਮੈਟੀ, ਜੋਨਥਨ ਹੈਰਿਸ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਸੁਪਰਿੰਟੈਂਡੈਂਟ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ, ਉਹ ਐਡੇ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਸ਼ਾਲੀ ਹੋਏ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਿੱਖੀਜ਼ਮ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਇੰਟਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਾਵਾਂਗੇ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਓਵਰਆਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕਈ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਓਪਰੈਸ਼ਨ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਰ ਹੈ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੀ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੰਡੈਮਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਦੂਜੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਜੋ ਖਾਲਿਸਤਾਨ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ, ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਮੰਗ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਾਡਾ ਇੱਕ ਹੱਕ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵੀ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਮੁਲਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਮੁਲਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਓਵਰਆਲ ਬੜਾ ਹੀ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਰਿਹਾ। ਤੇ ਦੂਰੋਂ ਨੇੜਿਓਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਦਿਲੋਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੋਆਰਡੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਮੇਟੀ ਈਸਟ ਕੋਸਟ, ਜਿਨਨੇ ਕਿ ਪੂਰਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਦਦ ਕੀਤੀ। ਸਰਦਾਰ ਹਿੰਮਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਰਜਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਟਹਿਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੋਰੀ, ਮਨਮੋਹਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਭਰਾੜਾ, ਕੁਲਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ, ਗੁਰਨਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਧਾਲੀਵਾਲ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਤੇ ਬੜਾ ਹੀ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ। ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਐਜ਼ ਆਪਣੀ ਯੂਨਿਟੀ ਦਿਖਾਉਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ।
ਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ, ਤੇ ਇਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਸਟੈਪਿੰਗ ਸਟੋਨ ਵੀ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ontario ਦੀ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਰੈਕੋਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ, ਤੋਂ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਉੱਪਰਲੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ, ਫੈਡਰਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਉੱਠ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਦੋਂ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਮੰਨਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਤੋਂ ਅਗਲਾ ਸਟੈਪ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਇਹਦੀ ਅਕਾਊਂਟੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਲਈ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ, ਵੀ ਉਸ ਵੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੇਸ਼ਕਦਮੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ।
ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜੀ, ਇਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਸਹੀ ਹੈ। ਈਵਨ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਡੀ ਰੀਡ ਕਰੋ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰਦਾਤ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਦਰਸਾਇਆ, ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਟੈਪਿੰਗ ਸਟੋਨ ਹੀ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦੇ ਰਾਹ ਤੱਕ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਨਰਲ ਅਸੈਂਬਲੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਪਾਸ ਕਰ ਹੀ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡਾ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਮਨੋਰਥ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਮੁਹਿੰਮ ਬਣਾਈਏ, ਹੋਰ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪਾਸ ਕਰਾਈਏ, ਤੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫਾਊਂਡੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੇ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਮੁਲਕ ਦੀ, ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਸਟੇਟਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਐਕਟਿਵਿਸਟ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਵੱਧ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਤੇ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਕਲੇਮੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ, ਸਾਈਟੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਸਿਟੀਜ਼ ਤੇ ਸਟੇਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੜੀ ਹੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹਾਂਗਾ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਿਟੀ ਤੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਰੈਕੋਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਰੈਕੋਗਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਾਂਗਰਸਮੈਨ ਜੋ ਕੋਟਨੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ। ਜੋ ਕੋਟਨੀ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਹੀ ਹਮਦਰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡਾ ਬੜਾ ਪੁਰਾਣਾ ਜਾਣਕਾਰ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਵਾਸ਼ਿੰਗਟਨ DC ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕੇ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਰਟੀਫਿਕੇਟ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਭੇਜਿਆ ਬਈ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਨੋਟਿਸ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੀ ਘੜੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਾਲ ਹਾਂ, ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਹ ਗਲਤ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੰਡੈਮਡ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਦਾ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਇੱਕ ਹਿਸਟੋਰੀਕਲ ਡੇ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ ਵੀ 30 ਨਵੰਬਰ ਦਾ ਦਿਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਬਣਿਆ, ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਲਹਿਰ ਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ ਦੇ ਰਾਹ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਛੇਤੀ ਤੋਂ ਛੇਤੀ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਸਕੀਏ।
ਜੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ, ਹਾਂ, ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਸਵਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ,
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਵਿਊਅਰਸ, ਇਹ ਸਨ ਸਵਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ। ਜਿਵੇਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਨੈਟੀਕਟ ਅੱਜ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹਾਂ, ਇੱਥੇ ਅੱਜ 1984 ਦੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਤਲੇਆਮ ਨੂੰ ਜੈਨੋਸਾਈਡ ਵਜੋਂ ਮਾਨਤਾ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੀ ਸਿਟੀ ਕੌਂਸਲ ਵੱਲੋਂ। ਤੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਵਰਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਰੱਖੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੈਪਿੰਗ ਸਟੋਨ ਸਾਬਿਤ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਕੌਮ ਇਸ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਲਾਮਬੰਦ ਹੋਵੇ। ਇਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੋਂ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ ਚਾਹਾਂਗੇ ਜੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।